I grew up without any real faith, and it wasn't until I was around 30 that I had any context that wasn't actually quite negative about faith. I accidentally stumbled upon Buddhism, and I was very, very involved as a Buddhist for around a decade. I'd taken bodhisattva vows. I was really seeking, like, how can you be altruistic within the world? How can you reach out? How can you care for people? And it was in that exploration, looking around me, I found that the people who were really doing this were the Christians around me. I turned up at St Malangef's church, almost accidentally at the end of a walk, and felt really drawn back there. After a couple of weeks of it niggling, I went back, sat in the church, and felt a huge calmness, and it was like everything suddenly made sense. Sort of God had walked in, and just looking backward, it was a bit of a, I guess, road to Emmaus moment. It was like Jesus had always been there with me, but I just couldn't see him. I knew I needed to do something. I knew I needed to give something, but I doubted that I'd be the right person because I hadn't always been a Christian. It was only after speaking to a local member of clergy that they suggested that I might have a calling and I should think about this. So I went to bed that night, I went to sleep, woke up in the middle of the night, and I don't normally remember dreams or anything, but I had this big thing where I felt this massive compulsion to go and get a Bible and look up James 4:17, which I had no idea what it was. I'd never even looked at James. And it basically said, it's a sin for you to not do what you know is good. And that felt a bit poignant, and made the decision that, okay, I need to explore this. And that was really the start of the whole discernment process, and really bringing together what I knew was right and what I knew I needed to do with my own doubts about myself. I had a vocations advisor who I met up with, who went through the various criteria with me, and I realised quite quickly that actually this was all stuff that I'd been thinking about really intensely and deeply. And quite early in my journey, I started studying theology. So I signed up for Theology for Life, actually way before I entered discernment, just because I wanted to know more about God, more about Christianity, more about faith, and understand that. Listen to yourself, really listen to what's pulling you forward, and not just all these reasons to not do anything. Listen to those around you as well, because I certainly found that other people had far more confidence in this journey for me than I had, and people were far less surprised than I thought. That was a real thing. It's not like you've decided when you start. You discern. You with other people look at whether this is the right thing for you. And by the end of that process, certainly for me, I was certain that this is the path I have to follow. I didn't feel like I didn't feel like God was giving me a choice.